Welcome back to the Science of CBD. I'm Bruno, Professor of Nutraceutical Science at Huntington University of Health Sciences, formulator of Twinlab products, and your host. In today's podcast, we're going to examine the relationship between vitamin D and the endocannabinoid system. So, to begin with, vitamin D deficiency is present in about 42% of all Americans. And vitamin D insufficiency, which means we're lacking vitamin D, we may not be in a full-blown deficiency state, but we're lacking it, that's present in 77% of the population. Now, why is this? The reason is actually pretty simple. Vitamin D, unlike a lot of other vitamins that we get from our food, is actually created when sunlight hits our skin and it converts cholesterol in it into vitamin D. Now, previously, Americans would spend a lot more time outside due to their jobs or, other responsibilities or just for recreational purposes. Now, Americans work indoors and they just don't get as much sun. And when we do get sun, oftentimes we'll use a lot of sunblock because we're afraid of developing skin cancer. And the problem there is that also inhibits the production of vitamin D. So now we know we're not getting enough vitamin D. Now let's look at the relationship between vitamin D and the endocannabinoid system. Just last month, there was a new study published, and it examined the relationship between vitamin D deficiency, friendly bacteria in our gut, and endocannabinoid system and its relationship to pain. So, here's the deal. Friendly bacteria that resides in our gut, it helps to regulate brain and behavior. Now, a lot of people know it's good for, gut health and the immune system, but it actually has a role in your brain and your behavior as well, because those same friendly bacteria also help to produce neurotransmitters like serotonin that affect mental functioning. Now, the endocannabinoid system also is involved in inflammation and pain processing in the gut, as well as in the central nervous system. Where this comes together is research that was done with mice. They found that vitamin C deficiency resulted in less diversity of friendly bacteria in the gut. Now that's important because you want to balance between the different friendly bacteria. If you don't have the right balance, it can throw everything out of whack. And not only did it result in less diversity of friendly bacteria, but it also resulted in alterations in the functioning of the endocannabinoid system, which included a reduction in the levels of endocannabinoids, and get this, greater pain perception. What that means is, although your pain itself might be essentially the same, your perception of it was much greater, so you're going to hurt more. Now, the research here suggests that there's a link between vitamin D deficiency, changes in the composition of the friendly bacteria in your gut, altered pain perception, and endocannabinoid system functioning and signaling. So what all this essentially means is, in order to have healthy gut bacteria, you need adequate vitamin D, and in order to have a healthy endocannabinoid system, you need vitamin D. So that's kind of the general relationship between vitamin D, endocannabinoid system, and pain. But there's more to the story. Vitamin D also has a complementary relationship to certain endocannabinoid system functions. For example, bone health. Bone is capable of regenerating, which is especially important as we age or if we have an injury. Now, the endocannabinoid system, we know, has a positive effect on bone metabolism. The endocannabinoid receptors are found in bone cells at higher levels than other receptors that are found there. We know that endocannabinoids can stimulate bone formation. And we also know that vitamin D is also needed for bone regeneration. So in addition to the direct relationship between the endocannabinoid system, there's an indirect complementary relationship between vitamin D, endocannabinoid system, and bone. Another example is stress, which has a very strong impact on physical and mental health for about at least a third of the U.S. population. The endocannabinoid system plays a role in the body's ability to handle stress. And research has shown that phytocannabinoids like CBD can help reduce stress and anxiety. There's a correlation between vitamin D deficiency and the prevalence of anxiety in various population groups. So, there's a complementary relationship between the endocannabinoid system and vitamin D with regard to both bone regeneration as well as stress and anxiety. Thanks again for joining us on another episode of the Science of CBD. If you enjoyed it and you want to know more, make sure you hit like and you subscribe. And for more information about CBD and the endocannabinoid system, or to sign up for our newsletter, go to www.twinlabcbd.com. Thanks.